Brace yourselves, America. What just unfolded in the Middle East isn't just a headline, it's a terrifying echo of history, a brazen gamble with global stability. President Trump, the self-proclaimed peacemaker, has plunged the U.S. directly into a conflict with Iran, a move based not on intelligence, but on what insiders are calling mere vibes. This isn't just a foreign policy shift, it's a dangerous, unhinged escalation that defies expert warnings and risks dragging us into another forever war. We're about to expose the shocking truth behind these strikes, the blatant disregard for facts, and the chilling implications for every American. If you're ready to see beyond the spin and understand what's really at stake, smash that like button and subscribe, because the truth needs a voice, and we're here to amplify it. So what exactly happened? On Saturday, President Donald Trump ordered U.S. warplanes to bomb 3 Iranian nuclear facilities, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. This aggressive act, which Iran's Atomic Energy Organization confirmed as a violation of international law, marks the U.S.'s direct entry into the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran. Trump, who campaigned on ending foreign wars, incongruously announced the attacks with the phrase, "Now is the time for peace." Yet this peace came in the form of a full payload of bombs dropped on a primary site, the stated aim to prevent Iran from building a nuclear bomb. But here's the critical question. Was this attack truly justified by intelligence? Or was it, as many critics suggest, an impulsive, unprovoked act with far-reaching consequences? The U.S. intelligence community's official assessment, as recent as March 2025, states Iran is not building a nuclear weapon and has not reauthorized its nuclear weapons program. So, why the sudden, drastic action? The timeline of this escalation is as alarming as the strikes themselves. Just months ago, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard testified to Congress that U.S. intel confirmed Iran was not building a nuclear weapon. Despite Trump publicly disputing this, 2 administration officials, speaking anonymously, confirmed, "There is no intel, nothing new that I'm aware of. The intelligence assessments have not really changed." Senator Chris Murphy, Decon, corroborated this, stating, "Iran posed no imminent threat of attack to the United States." Yet Trump's administration, particularly White House spokesperson Anna Kelly, dismisses these reports as false and lazy reporting designed to undermine President Trump's highly successful operation. This swift, unprovoked action stands in stark contrast to previous U.S. military engagements. Unlike the year-long case building for the Iraq War, the Trump administration skipped the pretense, opting for a speed run into conflict. This despite public polling showing widespread disapproval of war with Iran. Trump's Saturday address claimed the objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity. But notably, he didn't claim Iran was close to having a nuclear weapon, a claim he made earlier in the week. Even Vice President J.D. Vance, when pressed on Meet the Press, pivoted from our intelligence to Iran's stonewalling, admitting that in March, we saw the Iranians making some concessions. We thought the conversations were actually productive. This shift from productive conversations to full payload of bombs raises serious questions about the true motivations behind these strikes. The U.S. has also poured billions into Israel's war machine, supplying advanced weaponry, with American taxpayers picking up the tab. This includes $18 billion in military aid to Israel in the year following October 7, 2023. This context is crucial as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has openly called for regime change in Iran and not ruled out targeting its supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, a threat Trump himself echoed on Truth Social, stating, "We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but is safe there. We are not going to take him out, kill, at least not for now." So here we are again. The peacemaker president, who swore to end forever wars, just launched us into another one, apparently on a whim. It's like watching a bad reality TV show where the host, desperate for ratings, decides to blow up the set in the final act. Trump, the master of the art of the deal, now demands Iran agree to end this war after he started it. It's the equivalent of setting your neighbor's house on fire and then demanding they make peace with the flames. The sheer audacity would be comical if the stakes weren't so terrifyingly real. Remember when we were told about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq? Well, this time the WMDs are vibes. That's right, folks. Our intelligence community, the same one that tracks every whisper and satellite image, says Iran isn't building a bomb. But Trump, with his unparalleled gut feeling, decided otherwise. It's a trust me bro foreign policy where the most powerful military in the world is deployed based on a hunch or perhaps a desperate need for a distraction from, well, everything else. And let's not forget the chorus of warmongers who've been itching for this fight for decades. They're probably popping champagne corks in Washington, while the rest of us are left wondering if our leaders are playing 4D chess or just hungry hippos with human lives. The hypocrisy is so thick you could cut it with a bunker buster bomb. Trump, who once pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal, now wants a new one, after bombing them. It's like breaking up with someone, setting their car on fire, and then asking them out on a date again. Who would say yes? As Jennifer Kavanaugh from Defense Priorities aptly put it, why would Russia or any other country negotiate with Trump going forward? The answer, my friends, is they wouldn't. He sacrificed significant diplomatic leverage for narrow military gains of uncertain duration, effectively adding kerosene to a region already ablaze. And the best part? While Trump's allies are scrambling to justify this highly successful operation, lawmakers like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are calling for impeachment because apparently unilaterally bombing a sovereign nation without congressional approval is, a grave violation of the Constitution. Who knew? It's almost as if the Constitution was written to prevent exactly this kind of impulsive, ego-driven chaos. But hey, at least we're not falling for the weapons of mass destruction lie again. This time, it's just vibes. And those vibes, my friends, are sending shivers down the spine of democracy. The repercussions of Trump's strikes on Iran are already rippling across the globe, threatening to ignite a wider, more devastating conflict. Politically, this unprovoked aggression has been widely condemned, with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warning of a dangerous escalation and a direct threat to international peace and security. Lawmakers in the U.S., including Reps. Rashida Tlaib, are calling the strikes unconstitutional, demanding Congress exert its war powers to prevent further military involvement. The bipartisan War Powers Resolution introduced by Reps. Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna, and similar legislation by Senator Tim Kaine, underscore the deep concern within Congress about Trump's unilateral actions. Economically, the impact is immediate and severe. Oil prices have surged, with Brent crude reaching nearly $75 a barrel, while global stock futures have fallen and safe haven assets like gold and U.S. Treasuries have climbed. This instability directly affects global markets and the everyday lives of citizens. The U.S. military presence in the Middle East, already under attack nearly 400 times since October 2023 in response to U.S.-supported Israeli actions in Gaza, now faces heightened risks. Iran has explicitly stated it reserves all options to defend its security interests and people, signaling potential retaliation against U.S. bases in the region. Defense experts warn that this is not a path to peace. Joseph Votel, a retired four-star Army general, stated, "There will be ramifications against the U.S., and this should be discussed and addressed in detail. There is no clean course we can take in this situation." The Arms Control Association highlights that military strikes alone cannot destroy Iran's nuclear knowledge and could strengthen Tehran's resolve to reconstitute its sensitive nuclear activities, possibly prompting it to consider withdrawing from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and possibly proceeding to weaponization. This move effectively ended diplomatic channels with Iran. As Jamal Abdi, president of the National Iranian-American Council, noted, the path ahead is fraught with peril, with the U.S. risking another costly Middle East war that will further diminish U.S. global influence and American prosperity. In summary, President Trump's unprovoked strikes on Iran, based on questionable intelligence and in defiance of congressional authority, have ignited a dangerous new chapter in the Middle East. This isn't just a foreign policy decision, it's a high-stakes gamble with global stability, risking a wider war and undermining the very principles of democracy and accountability. The consequences are already being felt, from volatile markets to increased threats against U.S. troops. Now we want to hear from you. What's your take on these strikes? Do you believe they were justified, or are we being dragged into another unnecessary conflict? Share your thoughts and concerns in the comments below. Your voice matters in this critical discussion. If you found this breakdown helpful and believe in journalism that exposes the truth, please hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our ongoing coverage of these vital global events. We're committed to bringing you the unfiltered truth, holding power accountable, and keeping you informed. Stay vigilant, stay engaged, and we'll see you in the next one.